Tom, Garry, thank you for joining me here on BluesTV. Tom, if I could start with you. Seismic news breaking overnight for both Knighthead and for the football club. Can you put into context just how big a moment this is in the club's 149-year history?
Now, this was an important part of our plan for the club before we even made the purchase. We had looked at the infrastructure that we had available to the club and the product that was being offered to the fans, and most importantly, the revenue that we could generate out of the existing infrastructure. Knew something had to be done. So the biggest part of implementing that plan was to acquire the core piece of the land, which is the wheel site. And as of about 36 hours ago, we were able to complete that purchase, which now allows us to begin the process of developing what will become the sports quarter in Birmingham. And that will include a new stadium, bringing the training ground for men's, women's, and the academy into a single location adjacent to the stadium, and allowing for additional entertainment options to be developed, all of which will improve the revenue of the club and allow us to put a better product on the pitch.
And Garry, you've been unapologetic in your pursuit of world class since you came to the football club. Does this embody what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we should all be very proud. Well, firstly, proud to have the owners that we have, and I think Tom's ambition is the driving force behind many things that we do, whether it's the announcement today or whether it's the transition and the change that we have to go through. But to aspire to be world class, you've got to really have big ideas, big ambition, and you really got to embody all of those. And I think this is a true sign of it today, a signal of what's to come.
And in terms of the local economy, Garry, this is going to be quite the regeneration of the area of Birmingham.
Yeah, and I think that's what today's announcement really is. It's not just about Birmingham City, it's about Birmingham. And I think the economy and every resident in this city should be proud of what we're doing. But I think we're also seeing that power of sport is the economic generator in local communities, and we're a part of that. We're a catalyst for the change in the community. This takes it to a whole new level, because this is what happens when you start to bring in inward investment that engages the community. You're creating jobs, you're creating opportunity, and the landscape of Birmingham changes, not just Birmingham City.
Tom, let's talk costs. How much of a commitment is this from Knighthead?
It's at least £5. Now, I think this will be, when all is said and done, £2 to £3 billion in total development. That's not just the stadium, that's everything. And so this is a seismic change for the club. It's an extraordinary level of commitment, and it will allow us to develop something that will really be a one of one in European football. And what I mean by that is the ability of the stadium, other entertainment options, men's, women's academy, training facilities, one location, hotel, office development. So this is really, a substantial project for full regeneration of the area. And again, what's important of that is as we develop that and those revenues flow back into the club, it allows us to invest even further in putting forward a better product.
I imagine the stadium will be the centrepiece of the sports quarter. Can you share any details as what supporters can expect in relation to the club's new home?
Yeah, I think what we want to do is borrow ideas from the very best stadiums that we've seen around the world and from lessons learned with other projects of a similar scope and scale, so that what we have is a venue where people want to spend time. They want to go well ahead of the match. They want to stay long after the match. They want this to be a place that they can really spend a full day attending, and that's the goal, so that our supporters come away saying, that's a great use of my time. I got great value for money. And for us, it's not about driving ticket prices up. That's not the way that you develop revenue. If you look at the best clubs in the world, ticket prices aren't a giant component of their overall revenue. What you do is you create a product that draws in commercial partners and draws in other sources of revenue, so that you become less dependent on the ticket pricing, so that we can have a more open and inclusive experience where fans of all walks of life can come and enjoy their time at the stadium.
I know transport links will form a large part of the planning process. How much consideration has been put into the flow of people both to and from the sports quarter?
Well, it's whether you think about today, which we certainly have a challenge and we have a problem. But I think, again, it highlights the need, and Tom always expects this of us. How do you make change? How do you improve? So you have to rely on local agencies to understand the traffic flow, the traffic network, both today and in 5 years' time. It's not the easiest. I think most urban-based football grounds have this challenge, built hundreds of years ago, and that creates a problem. But our ambition is to improve the experience for fans, ingress and egress, whether by local transport, public transport, vehicle, whatever that is, we've got to make a difference there.
Yeah, I think what we can do in the immediate term, for hopefully as soon as next season, is to utilize the site in whatever way is possible to help make the experience at St. Andrews at Knighthead Park better for our fans. So, that will ebb and flow as we begin the development process, but I think that, we'll spend a ton of time thinking about how to make it easy to attend not only matches, but also the other entertainment options that are available there.
Yeah. And Garry, again, I mean, there's been a huge emphasis on the work of the foundation over the past 9-10 months. How much will they benefit from this news now?
Well, the foundation, I'll repeat myself, is the beacon of change here, not only in this local neighbourhood, but we plan to be broader and wider with our impact. I think, though, the foundation is the epitome of what football can mean in a community. It has a lot of attention, as we well know. It creates a lot of media space, lots of storytelling, and those that community can be impacted by that, both positively and negatively. We live in a very diverse neighborhood, and the foundation is important. We can make change. That's the important part. This football club can make change in the community of Birmingham. But foundation is no different to every other aspect of our club, whether it's football, whether it's infrastructure, whether it's commerce. The expectations are that we will improve and get better and make a difference. And that is where I think everybody has become a little bit surprised, none more so than today's news, which says big ambition.
Tom, does this announcement demonstrate beyond all doubt now for the cynics looking on from the outside, Knighthead's commitment to the club in the long term?
If this doesn't make people convinced that we're here for the long term, I don't know what we're going to do next, right? But yeah, this announcement should demonstrate that we're here for the long haul. We've been saying it. I don't think people want to believe it, but we are. And nothing that occurs over the next 5 weeks is going to change our commitment to this club. And as optimistic as I am, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for being optimistic. I'm not going to apologize for being bold in our ambitions. I am simply not going to, nor will I change the direction we're taking this club. We're looking 5-10 years down the road. I know where we're going to end up. I know it. The question is, how quickly do we get there? And maybe the road wiggles a little bit on the way there, but we're going to end up in the right place. And I'm usually not wrong when we set our ambitions and surround ourselves by good people. We got some great people on this project. We've got some really talented folks that are playing significant roles. I got Tom Brady working with us very closely on this. I wouldn't bet against him. That hasn't worked out too well for people in the past.
Very finally, a question to you both. How excited should supporters watching this be now following this announcement?
Well, excited because the future is extremely bright. Tom has said it time and time again, we're on the rise. And they should be excited about the opportunities that are going to come. Sometimes it's not always good to look in the rearview mirror. I think it's always good to perhaps look in front of you and see what the possibilities are. With that said, everybody has to come together to go on the same journey.
Yeah, and I think that what our supporters need to recognize is that there are going to be a lot of people that throw stones at us, right? That's a comfortable place for us as Blues fans. We're okay with that. We're okay with people doubting us. We're okay with people rooting against us because it's us against everyone else. And I know it's going to turn out. And for those that are willing to come on the journey with us, they'll be richly rewarded.